Hi guys, welcome back. Bitcoin is bouncing back to the upside exactly as I told you guys that this is going to happen, and now it's not too late to enter. I will show you from where you can still take the next leg to the upside and so many altcoins that are ready to explode right now. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here into the late stream for today. I want directly mention tomorrow there will be only one stream. I have something to do with my girlfriend. She's leaving for a couple of days, so I will be only there once tomorrow, not twice. Let me quick close the door. It's echoing here a little bit. So I'm back. Let's get into it. So CPI came out, core CPI, everything came out here earlier. And some of the things unfolded as we had hoped for. Core CPI year over year is 2.9, so lower than expected. That was one of the scenarios that I was laying out earlier, that I was looking forward to that, hopefully to get lower than expected and a little bit higher than previously. And that's what we actually got, 2.9. Core CPI month over month, 0.2, also lower than expected. And then the only thing that went up was here CPI for June year over year by 0.1. So that's why we had initially a small continuation drop in Bitcoin. And then people realized, oh, wait a second, core CPI year over year and month over month is actually lower than expected. And the market turned around as I was expecting it anyway. Now, the DXY keeps pumping here because of that small jump in into the CPI of 0.1, which is fine. But like I said, as long as we are not reaching 99%, 99 points, sorry, 99 points, we are absolutely fine here. And even if we get up there, we get a rejection and we'll turn around back to the downside. Here, again, something really strange happening on the CME futures chart. I mentioned earlier that I would expect that we will come down and close that CME gap. We have now closed that CME gap technically, but as you can see here, here's a new CME gap that makes no sense, you know. So that's why I'm saying something is up here with the TradingView connection to the CME terminal that we get here intraday CME gaps that we should not have, you know. So that gap, I don't really care so much that we have that right now, because on the way up we are anyway filling this once again, so it doesn't really matter that there is one. So technically that gap that we filled, that we created over the weekend is filled now, and we are reversing back to the upside. Yeah, and you can basically set your clock to that, you know. It happens most of the time when we have a CME gap where we start from the top, go to the bottom, then we go back to the upside. Now let's have a look here what's happening with Bitcoin directly on the spot markets. Here with the weekly chart, I'm still not really happy with how the weekly kind of looks like. Best case scenario is we come here up to like $122,000 to close that candle in green here in a little bit less than 5.5 days. Let's see how the next days are playing out, but I believe they will be quite bullish from what I'm seeing on the lower time frames, and we go here straight into them. If you missed the early stream this morning, I explained here again with the Bollinger Bands. I mentioned the last couple of days that we cannot go on forever trading outside the Bollinger Bands with the Bitcoin price. Now, learn and behold, what I was pointing out happened, that we now got a drop back into the Bollinger Bands. But from here, I believe we will keep trending upwards just within the Bollinger Bands, which is absolutely fine and is also actually healthy for us. Then always, yeah, basically hoping that we are not falling too steep into the Bollinger Bands back. Here on the daily chart, we get massive support from the golden ratio. I took already a new Bitcoin trade. I'm going to show you that here in a moment. I just wished I would have started with a bigger position than I actually did. But yeah, sometimes you cannot change that. Now I need to wait for another retracement to get a better one. Now, here, if we close today's candle, even at current levels, that would be more than enough. Current levels, we get continuation by tomorrow. It's basically programmed the way that everything is shaping up here. Now, let me see, is this? Yeah, so then here, I mentioned to you guys, not only on Twitter, yesterday already, I think, or it was this morning. I lose track of time. You know me. You know, I lose all the time track of time when I did what in the last 24 hours. But I pointed out this here is my re-entry zone from 116,600 to 117,150 approximately. That's from where I would take a new trade, because I expect the price to bounce from here back to the upside. And once again, we were right here. I hope some of you guys were able to catch that trade. As you can see here, I have taken that trade myself. So I was up another $100 earlier when we were also price-wise here up $400 more. Here all the way up to, yeah, we were actually $600 higher earlier, but that's fine, you know. So I took here a small trade for now, can still increase it, you know. So I'm in here with roughly $25,000 position size here on BloFin. If you want to trade on BloFin, guys, there is a link in the description below. There will be after the stream also a link pinned in the comments, and there is a link pinned in the chat right now. You still get all these things here, like an iPhone, a MacBook, Apple Vision Pro, even a Rolex, if you meet these trading volume criteria, or you can also go for the 10% cash back that you get on your initial deposit. So definitely check that out. And also here the trading group. I have opened up the trading group again. If you deposit at least $500 on BloFin and are signed up under my link, you can join this group. On my trading account there, from 500, I went already almost to $1,200 here on that account, and we have only one losing trade so far, you know. So, and that's pretty good, you know. So again, all the links to sign up on BloFin, they're basically everywhere. Pin in the chat, description will be also pinned comment after the stream. Now here on the 50 minutes chart, also something that I pointed out earlier is that this green box here is a reaccumulation zone. Where you can start building positions, and your confirmation will be happening when we break above this downward sloping trend line here. And this is something that we just did in the last 60 minutes. Now we are coming back, retesting here the upper end of that reaccumulation zone, which is absolutely fine. We're going to get a bounce from there, and then most likely break here back above $119,000, $119,400, and turn this into resistance. Here I expect again a little bit of sideways chop before we get the next leg back above $120,000. There will be definitely right now over the next, let it be 2 hours, a small chop phase, because when I look here at the RSI pointing down, stochastic RSI pointing down, MACD losing momentum, so a little bit chop here between these two levels of 117,700 and 118,400 roughly. Will be most likely playing out here, which is absolutely fine. But this gives you ample opportunity to open a new trade, because you're not that far away from the original entry that I had. You know, so when we go back into my trade, I entered at $117,276, so $100 higher than what I intended, and then here, yeah, so that is like 0.2%, you know, 0.2% away. If you would here on the top side open a trade when we touch it again at $117,600, set a limit order there. It will most likely touch here pretty soon, and you can just take the trade from there, or from that trend line here at $117,400. That gets you a little bit closer to the original entry, if you're really shooting for that, you know. So, but it doesn't make really huge difference, like $200 up or down, you know. So it doesn't really matter if you enter here from the top side of that zone or from that trend line, really, unless you are trading with like 100x leverage. Now to the upside targets that I'm looking at, because that is for me a scalp trade, guys. So here $120,300, I might take profit, but I definitely gonna take profit here around $122,000 on that trade, because that's just a quick trade, you know, that you can a quick bounce trade here that I'm doing. Not really interested to hold this long term. Yeah, I have other long-term plays with way more size in that than what I'm currently playing. So this is basically just pocket change for what I do tomorrow, you know. So I needed a little bit pocket change, so and that helps me with that. Now on the 4-hourly chart, we try to reclaim the 20 moving average here, which is a good sign, because if we are able to reclaim that, we get imminently continuation back to the upside, and potentially form here a V-shaped recovery, which would be insane at these levels to see something like that. So I would love to see that that we shape something like this up here. But yeah, let's see what's happening. So if we can close here this current 4-hourly candle close or above the 20 moving average, that would be so bullish. That would be insanely bullish, and would just show how much euphoria is already in the market without being in the euphoric stage of the market. And I'm going to explain that again here in a second, what I mean by that. So otherwise, if we are not able to reclaim the 20 moving average here in the next, let's say, 12 hours, be ready that this rejection will lead to that we come a little bit lower to $115,000, $116,000 to test the 50 moving average. And from there, we're going to get then the proper bounce back above $120,000. And at that moment, I might size up the current trade that I have and add more to this trade all the way down here. Then on the liquidation levels, nothing has really changed. I mentioned earlier that we took all the liquidity that was down here, hence why we got here short-term bounce. Now liquidity is building up on the short side above us. I was expecting that to be happening, and you're gonna see here over the next 12-24 hours more shorts piling in my opinion. So this will get dense it is all the way down here or also over there. That would just increase here over the next coming hours around $122,700 and $121,800 approximately. On the liquidation heat map, let's see what we have here right now. What happened here over the last couple of hours? Yeah, here, something also that I pointed out was that we could see a bounce from here already. We don't have to go all the way down here to $115,000. Again, in rejection of the 20 moving average will lead to that we go all the way down here to $115,000. But then again, most likely from there get a massive bounce into higher levels. From what I see right now, I would definitely rule out that we go below that level. There's too much liquidity in the market, people going crazy right now. It just doesn't make sense to see something like that while the price is getting held up so well. Now, something else that I want to show you here quick before we start looking at altcoins is where we are at in the current cycle. So here you can see these lines are representing the bull markets of the previous years. So here in 2013, you see here in mint green that line, 2017, 2021, 2025. So here in orange is where we are currently at. So what you see here is that in 2021, we had something unusual. And unusual about this bull run was that we had a double top. We never had before a double top. And I think that this was caused by COVID and the money printing, that this basically distorted how the bull run had shaped up here. So you can also see that here in comparison on the right side a little bit better. So now the big question is, what will this bull run most likely resemble? Or when you have a look at the other cycles, what is this orange line here of the current bull run most resembling compared to the other ones? And in my opinion, my humble opinion, I believe we are resembling a lot the 2017 bull run. So if I could overlay that orange line here with the 2017 bull run, so what you can see here, look at this here, where we move down and then come up again. Does here that area not pretty much look the same? So here I can zoom in a little bit. So look here, the way that we come down, so then form here almost a W, come up again. Now look at 2017. Come down here, almost a W, and then we start expanding to the upside. So I expected that we're gonna see a resemblance of a 2017 bull run in this bull run, which is absolutely nuts. If we repeat this, you have no fucking clue how much gains we're gonna make here over the next couple months. Especially, I had for a long time that feeling that we are in a bull run that resembles 2016 and 2017, because during the summer of 2016, we saw a massive run in Bitcoin, and in 2017 in altcoins. And this is something that we see right now also happening, which we did not have the last two bull runs. We did not really had runs of altcoins in the 2021 bull market. We had actually a summer hole, you know, where nothing really happened. I was on holidays all the time because I got insanely rich in that run and was not really looking at the charts that much. But nothing was really happening, you know, in 2021. And the same in 2022, 2023. No, 2023 was a little bit different, but 2024. So there was also last year was also not really something happening, you know, during the summer. So it's really rare that you see altcoins running during the summer, but this time we are running again. So and that is resembling what we saw also in 2017. And when we get into Q3, proper Q3, then the real party starts, where you see here the months, you know, from July, and then it goes up here from September, October. It starts running like crazy to the upside. So this is what I expect also for the upcoming months here happening in this run. And then when we're looking at the Wall Street cheat sheet, where I believe where we are currently in and what stage, a lot of people think that we are already in the euphoria stage and that we are close to the end of the run, but that makes absolutely no sense when you know how these bull markets have worked in the past. You know, so you have first running Bitcoin, then you have Ethereum, then you would have something running like Solana, and then you have like all mid caps running, and then you have meme coins and low caps running. We did not have, we did not even see anything running yet, you know, so that these things start running when Ethereum breaks an all-time high, Solana breaks its all-time high, it makes a new all-time high, all these mid caps make a new all-time high, meme coins go 5, 10, 20, 50, 100x that already in the market, you know, so not that get new launch, they're already there, you know, did not see anything of that yet. So that's why I believe we are somewhere in between optimism and belief. You know, people start believing now into this bull run. But I still believe that we are a little bit more somewhere in between. You know, somewhere in between makes, in my opinion, a lot of sense. Because if we would be already in proper in the belief stage, we would also see other coins running way, way harder than they did already, you know, so, and that's what I'm basically waiting for. So here, the Bitcoin dominance is getting a nice drop to the downside that is reflecting in some altcoins when I look here at my other monitor over there. Yeah, not everything is running insanely up right now, but some coins are running. We're going to talk about the ones that are running. But one of them is here the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So, and what did I tell you last week? You know, I said to you last week, when the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, the weekly candle is closing above that trend line, expect the next candle to go to the upside and Ethereum will be over $3,000. Where are we at right now, guys? Where are we at? Ethereum is over $3,000. So here, the USDT dominance chart also starts dropping again after we had here an initial bounce candle to the upside. So this is another reason why altcoins start running here a little bit right now. This is exactly what we want to see. The candle can stay as it is today. I have no problem with that because by tomorrow, most likely we're going to get another nice drop candle to the downside. If not by tomorrow, then the following day, this level will not hold. And I want to show you this here on this stream really quickly again, because it is earlier also. We are not even close to the levels where the run would be over. So look here at this. In the here in 2021, the run was over when we got close to 2%. You know, so here 1.94%. We're not even there yet. You know, so there's so much more room to go to the downside for stable coins. And when money gets out of stable coins or flows out of stable coins, it goes into other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, your shit coins, wherever, you know, but it has to go into something else than USDT, USDC, and all the other coins that are in the market. So, and I believe that in this run, somewhere here between 1.94 and 1.5, there will be the final top for everything. That is where you want to be out of the market. So as soon as we break, let it be here 2.5%, I will start scaling out of my positions. When I see that on the USDT dominance chart, that's where I set all my stop losses in profit. And then if we go here lower, then on the way down into these levels, I take profit to make sure that when we get that bounce and everything turns red, that I either get stopped out with the rest or I'm already completely out of the market. Because once that is turning around at these levels, that's it. The run is over. You know, so the bull market is over and the bear market is going to start. So here, my trades on Bybit. I'm still in my Aptos trade. My other trade has nicely recovered already. I'm up here 50% on the other trade. The Aptos trade is just 1% underwater. It looked, of course, yesterday way better, but I'm not concerned about that. Let it consolidate where it is. Also going to talk about that here in a moment. If you want to trade with me on Bybit, guys, you get up to $30,000 in sign-up in deposit bonuses and the Bybit card, where you get currently 20% cash back. Definitely make use of that. I just ordered a new Bybit card for myself. Again, there is a link in the description, in the pinned comment below, in the comments below, and also in no, not in the chat, but in the description. There you find the link. Now here, Ethereum. That's what I just said. You know, Ethereum is over $3,000 again. We broke that bull flag formation. Now, convincingly to the upside on the 4-hourly chart. The target is on $3,260. If you trade that from the current breakout level, it's still worth a scalp trade. You know, so here 7.2% roughly. Your stop loss is the bottom of that candle, almost 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. So definitely still worth taking that trade here to the upside. So you just need to be aware that here around 3,260, 3,270, there is a major resistance area. So you definitely have to get out. You know, so I would not risk to stay in that trade, because the rejection could be really harsh from that level. You know, it could get really volatile really quickly. So if you are here in that overall setup that I gave from $2,700, you are fine. You know, you could sit this out and just wait. You know, so if you're actually in that setup right now, the only thing that I would do is set a stop loss at around $950, and keep trading at every $100 that we move higher into the either here that overall take profit target that I had given here for that 15.8% target, or trade it here in the bull flag target. That's up to you how you want to do that. So on a daily chart, we have a rising broadening wedge, which is not good. I would like to see a break of that, preferably by tomorrow, and a close above that by tomorrow. And that is more or less coinciding also with here that big resistance cluster. You know, so even if we get a breakout above that, and we go here into that resistance, remember 3,260, 3,270, somewhere there, we're most likely going to stop. Then here that level will cause that rejection that I'm talking about. So, and then we could go back down to like 2,900, 2,800, what is that? $860 approximately. And that will be the next level from where I'm going to open a big Ethereum trade. So I'm just basically waiting for that to be happening. And you have to be patient sometimes, you know, let the trade come to you and don't chase the pump. You know, really important in a bull run, don't chase the pump, because if you chase the pump, you get most of the time burned if you don't know what you are doing. So that's why we're not doing that, especially when you see here the RSI starting to be a little bit overbought. The stochastic is already flatlining, the MACD is losing momentum, and at some point we will start forming here bearish divergence on the daily chart, and then that big downwards move from here will be coming. So and that's when I pounce, when we get back down here. Solana is at $160 right now. We bounced off here $158.53. 33, sorry. On the 4-hourly chart, things looking really good that we're turning around from here. Maybe give it another, I would say 10 hours, then we should be back above $165 and get continuation. So if you want to trade that, there's multiple ways to look at this right now. So you could either say, okay, I want to be absolutely sure that we are going higher. Then you wait for $168 to be broken. I don't wait that long. I'm already in a trade. You wait for a retest, for another test here of the support bottom at $158 approximately. Or you go here to the bump and run pattern and you say, hey, this looks like the current that we have currently the throwback to the trend line from that bump and run pattern, and I don't care. So I enter right now. So that's totally up to you how you want to do that. So, but I'm already in a trade because we're above $160. That's what I was looking for. And here, these current 12-hourly candles look like a tweezer bottom to, no, it's not a tweezer bottom, because candles are so small. That's why for a second I thought it looks like a tweezer bottom. Actually not. So, but we have here a green doji candle. If we close that 12-hourly candle as it is right now at the daily close, then I expect the next candle to make here a nice move, potentially even above that resistance and these and the neckline here of this inverse head and shoulders pattern. Also want to mention that again, that we have here on Solana this inverse head and shoulders pattern that will be most likely playing out here in the coming days with a target of $220 here to the upside. Now let's talk about some altcoins. Injective is one of the coins that I'm currently trading. I reaccumulated more in that green area here. So if you remember, I said yesterday evening that I'm in that trade since here, but I did not have a stop loss on that because I was hoping that if we are getting rejected from there, that we actually come here into that green area. So I had limit orders there. Now I am have averaged down my entry price, basically more or less to the current levels, and gonna trade that bounce here to the upside. So if you're looking here to build an injective position, you would be not doing anything wrong to enter from here and take a little bit more risk. But if you don't want to take major risk and you want to play it safe, then you wait until $12.83 is broken, because at the same time you would also break here the neckline of that W pattern that we are forming, which has a current target of what? The current target of that would be at $13.69 approximately. Yeah, I have to put this here a little bit higher. $13.71 would be that target of that smaller W pattern. And you should not forget that here was a bigger W pattern forming up, and that target is at $14.08. So you can technically, from the current level, still trade here that bigger W pattern to $14.08. So, and once that downward sloping trend line is broken, we're going to see here a massive move here in one single candle to the upside in injective. There's nothing that could me convince otherwise that we're going to see something like that. So Algo, again, pumping here. Not really surprised about this, but maybe I need to, yeah, so that looks also more like a bull flag now. What's shaping up here? And we're trying to break out of that bull flag right now. So here, another really, really good trade. Algo the last couple of days, insane strength in this coin. I don't know from where it's coming. There were no big announcements, nothing. It's just pure momentum pushing it to the upside. So in here, the next target would be 37 cents. And that is actually above the overall target that I had given anyway here, from all the way down at 22.8 cents. And that's just a couple of days ago, so last Sunday. So yeah, 2 days ago, 3 days, yeah. Saturday, because Sunday I did not make a stream. So Saturday, I gave the trade Saturday, so between now and Saturday, this coin is up 22.5%. Here on the top side, it was 36% almost. Yeah, and I told you also here, take profits along the way. So if you miss that trade, so here might be another trade like that, just being here around the corner. Oh, Bitcoin is pulling back here right now. I just got a notification and saw that. And Sui is today definitely one of the craziest strong coins that I have seen. No coin is holding up like Sui right now, at least not the ones that I'm currently watching. So remember what I said, that you could enter that from $3.89 here when we had here this 4-hourly pump in the last 4-hourly candle. And then we came back down to the level and tested it. That would have been your entry, the current 4-hourly candle when we came down to test that level. So if you're in that trade, just keep holding. This will send, give that maximum a day or two, and we are here at the target of $4.23. That will happen really, really quickly. Also here, technically not too late to enter this right now. Just be a little bit wary with Bitcoin behaving so volatile here. I want to have here look on the right chart quickly here. Yeah, so there's your entry right now. So there's your entry. If you missed the entry previously, that is now your chance to enter this. Just want to have a look quick on the 50 minutes chart. Yeah, stochastic is, sorry, the RSI is about to turn around here a little bit. 9 seconds, yeah. So let's wait here. The 5 seconds to see what the RSI is doing. And then I will have a look also in the chat here. Yeah, so RSI going sideways. So if this pushes a little bit up, then the momentum is already back to the upside, and this was just a really quick stop hunt and liquidity hunt. So let's see what happens here. I will keep an eye on that here on the side. I will actually open this quick on my phone, and then I can have a look at this while I'm here with you. Just give me a sec, because I need another list on my phone. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So, and then I want this on a 15 minutes chart. And then I hate charting on the phone. It's horrible. You can let me know in the chat what you think about that, but charting on the phone for me, really something that I'm not enjoying. So there we go. So I also, this stream again, I don't want to make the stream too long, but I definitely gonna stick still around here for a little bit. So there we go. So there. Okay, so I can keep an eye on that right now. So we were not Solana, we were here at Sui. So you see what I mean? Bitcoin drops basically $1,000. Sui did not really care about this. It's already going back up a cent, you know? So definitely a good coin to enter right now. I even believe that this 4-hourly candle will flip back green and close in green to get a continuation pump to the upside. If you want to buy Sui on spot, I would do it right now. I would not even wait, you know? So if you want to have another nice trade setup, I would currently, if we are not coming back to $3.89, which I don't believe that we are actually going to do that, then you have to wait for $4.23 to get a good entry, or you look on the 15 minutes chart to find a good entry when everything has completely cooled down, and take it that trade all the way up to $6.50 here, more or less from current level, 65%, I think. Yeah, 63.5%. Let me have a look here. What else did I prepare earlier? I think was Ripple again. No, not Ripple. Did I look at Cardano earlier? No, I had something else here. I think Uni was one of them. Uni also one of the strong coins today. Got here a nice continuation pump from that accumulation zone where I said if we get into that box, buy. That would be a good level to buy a Uni. So if you're really lucky, we retrace now the whole candle. We come back into that green box. Close or below just $9, and I would definitely enter from there if you get that opportunity. So because here, if I go to a lower time frame, if I go to 1 hourly time frame, this is a falling broadening wedge that we are forming here. So that could go down like to $8.93, and from there, most likely it's going to turn around. And then my target would be, I think I had a target of $12. Yeah, here, 42. $12.42. Once Ethereum gets a really nice move to the upside, and that can be just a move to $3,200, but in one go, in like 1 hourly candle or like in a 4 hourly candle, you're gonna see Uni will move with that and go straight here into that target. But if, of course, Ethereum does it slowly, then also Uni most likely will keep moving slowly. But over the last couple of days, it creeped up quite a bit here into these levels. We were here not that long ago, if I go a little bit back, below $7. You know, so here at the beginning of the month, you know, not even 2 weeks ago, we were below $7 at $6.50, you know, and ran all that way up here. So let me have a look. Then Avi, I know earlier somebody asked about Avi, so I want to have a look at this quick. Yeah, so here, also nice move. We were earlier below that trend line. I said around that trend line, or if we get slightly below that trend line, open from there, trade. So here we are now slightly above that. It's still not too late to take the trade because the target is $447. Nothing has really changed here. And also here, same thing. You know, you see across many coins the same pattern shaping up. You know, again, broadening, falling wedge. Once that's breaking, it's going to send. So now we go to some other coins that I have also an eye on. DYDX, one of the next coins that might be primed here to break out to the upside, either from that symmetrical triangle or you could also call it potentially a bull flag. So bull flag target here, 75.6 cents, so which is over a 20% move here, 22.5% to the upside. Just wait for a break above 62 cents, then it's good to enter, because look here on the 4-hourly chart, RSI pointing up, even though we dropped so much to the downside right now, you know, in Bitcoin. DYDX doesn't care, you know, doesn't matter that we dropped at all, you know. Indicators don't turn around. MACD losing momentum here on the sell side, stochastic still pointing up. So also one of the more resilient coins here in the market right now. Then the same with Curve, super resilient, but we get here a lot of wicks to the upside, which means that there is now definitely some huge resistance, and we could get a rejection here at any moment. So that rejection, in my opinion, will go all the way down into that green area here to 68 cents. That might be for you the best opportunity to build a position here before this is going to $1. And it will happen quickly when it goes to $1. Then Arbitrum, another one, similar to DYDX. Here I need maybe in a second a higher time frame to show you the target. So here, that downward sloping trend line is coming from a bump and run pattern. So just that you know from where the trend line is coming. So this bump and run pattern has a target of roughly 70 cents here, 69.7 cents. Once that ascending triangle is breaking out, it will most likely go really quickly here into that target. So here, 43.3 cents is where I would enter, or if you're a little bit more risk adverse like me, you take a trade when we get here a little bit closer to that trend line, you know, that upward sloping trend line. Around that trend line is where I like to take trades a little bit prematurely, and then have a little bit more profit on in my wallet later. So like, for example, here, I would start building a position from here right now, honestly, you know. So, and then as long as we are staying above that upward sloping trend line, I would not really worry about getting stopped out. And my stop loss would be here at 38.5 cents here for Arbitrum. So, but like I said, if you want to play it safe, 43.3 cents is where you enter this, and then you can trade this here into 70 cents roughly. Then Lido, another one here. Oh wow, that is a crazy rejection from that resistance line. Let me go to a higher time frame to show it a little bit more. So also here, I see here a W pattern forming. Here's the neckline of the W pattern, but there's so much room in between. So much room in between. Look here, there is a 33% move, more or less, between the right side of that W pattern, where we're currently under that resistance here. Once we are breaking that resistance, that is the next target, the neckline of the W pattern. And then you have the next target, and that is the target of the W pattern itself. And that is $1.71. So that is, from the neckline, almost a 100% move to the upside. 94.65%. And I have to remind you, once Ethereum starts moving, these targets can come really, really quickly to you, you know, so that can be a matter of 5 days, you know, where we see that unfolding. Next one, Aptos, getting here also rejected. Currently, I have another Aptos chart. Where is that sitting? Oh, that is on that chart sitting. I think I'm gonna pull that over. Let me pull that over here. There. So here, that Aptos chart is the one that I'm looking at all the time. So as long as we are sitting here above that downward sloping trend line, nothing really to worry about for me. I keep holding that trade, keep adding to that trade. My personal entry is now averaged down to $4.89. So I'm not far away from my entry. That's why I keep holding this on a 4-hourly chart. You see already early signs of a turnaround. Stochastic wants to print a buy signal. RSI will, here in the next coming hours, also slightly turn around. And MACD will do the same thing then. So as long as we're above that upward sloping trend line, downward sloping trend line, and momentum looks like that we are about to shift this back to the upside, nothing to worry about for me. I keep holding this. So again, if you want to trade this safe, wait for $5.11, but you basically miss out already like on 7% to the upside, you know, not doing that. I want these 7% already in my pocket, you know. So here, if you want to look for a more risky entry, just wait for this downward sloping trend and here to be broken. And that becomes your entry then all the way up to the target of $6.28. So now I'm gonna have a quick look in the chat and see what coins you want to see here. And let me just get a separate window for the chat. So there, I have a better view. Hype, yeah, I can have a look at Hype. Well, what's happening with Bitcoin here? I think I'm gonna add here in a moment more to my Bitcoin trade. Guys in the chat, let me know, is there any news coming out right now? Why it's dropping? Is there anything happening that I'm not aware of because I'm here streaming? Because otherwise I have to look quick. Let's see. 1 second, I have to answer to this. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. So, okay, let's just have a look. Oh, wow. Bitcoin really going for it now to the downside. Crazy. Yeah, could be liquidation hunt. Could be a liquidation hunt, but yeah. Let me see. I have an indicator that we can use quick to see what's happening here. Let's see, FEG. Was it this one? What was the name of that? I think it was FEG. FEG channel, no. Let's see. Let's see if this indicator is any good. Huh. Yeah, I knew that around here, that area is something. There's nothing. There's up here something. Yeah, that must be just a liquidation hunt. And it looks like it's already over. So actually, you know what I do now? So yeah, let's go back to my BloFin account quick. Where is it? Where is it? There. I'm gonna increase my position now. I think that is a good moment to add to that position. So where's my, whoa. Am I doing this right here? Yeah. Okay, so I just want, okay, that doesn't change anything. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it opened a new one. Ah, that's not what I wanted. That's stupid. Okay, so I have to close this here in a moment again, because that is not what I wanted. Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on that. That was now annoying, because that's definitely not what I wanted, but okay. Just wanted to add to the current one. So I'm gonna have quicker look on other coins here. So Hype, I have a Hype chart here somewhere. There's a Hype chart. So Hype got basically rejected from the 1.5 level here on the Fibonacci extensions, and it's retracing currently. So we are here right now sitting at a support level. As long as that level is holding, we will bounce back to the upside. So, but I know now a little bit how Hype is behaving, and it might come back down to $45. So, and from there, it will then most likely bounce back to the upside. Because here is still, yeah, there's no bullish divergence yet that I can see on the 4-hourly chart. Yeah, I believe that will come back here to like $45, and from there it would enter that back to the upside. There's a small bounce coming in Bitcoin. So then, let's see. Let's see, what else do we have? I think ZRX. Let's have a look at XRP, because I have an XRP chart here somewhere. Where's my XRP chart? Over here. There we go. So XRP, so if we are now going for all the liquidity that's below Bitcoin, and that would mean that we go like to $112,000, then XRP will most likely come down to like $2.70. So there will be a breaking point in altcoins, which is not there yet. You know, so the breaking point is not there yet. But when that breaking point comes, then you're going to see altcoins having major losses. So I mean like minus 10%, minus 15%, you know, so on the daily chart in losses. So, but we're not there yet, you know. So, but if Bitcoin goes now to like $112,000, we're most likely going to see that. I don't believe that now all that money that's selling Bitcoin is immediately rotating into altcoins. So that's why I would be a little bit careful with XRP right now. Like I said, we could drop down here to $2.72, which is a Fibonacci level on the daily chart. I think I have, yeah, here's where I've drawn that. So, but if we are coming back to $2.90 today or tomorrow, I would long it from there because it will move really quickly back to the upside. So then in 1 inch, there might be also an opportunity right now here. Oh yeah, we are coming close now. We're coming close now. Coming close here to the golden ratio and that green zone here. Also from there, really good area to long when we get there. So we're not far away anymore. 31 cents is what I would be looking for. That and there might be the pain stopping and reversing back to the upside into 50 cents. So here, nothing really happening. We're just consolidating and many other coins doing the same thing. James Wynn is already gone. He deleted his Twitter account. So he deactivated that. I saw that. Well, what I really would like to know now, so let me see here actually on this. I'm gonna have a look here quick and see if I can find something. Because is here something news related? What's going on here? Let's see if we can find something. I see only bullish news, see nothing really. Yeah, must be a liquidity hunt here. So yeah, it's 9 o'clock in the morning in the US. Can be not like that they were not aware of what's happening with CPI. So there's a small bounce coming. So, and I can remove that indicator again because that indicator told me what I already knew. I will be still here for a couple of minutes, guys. So if you want to have any other coins, let me know. Where is it this one? Yeah, pop out. So there we have it. Oh, he's back. Oh man, this guy needs help. You know, honestly, James Wynn needs help. I'm sure he called that short. It said short the top, short the top. Crazy guy. Was ATH not that coin? I know that was alt. So, but was ATH not also another meme coin? I think that was a meme coin. I think not much. Oh wait, how far does that go back? Oh, last year, not that bad. Okay, there's enough data at least to look at this. So here, you're gonna get a crazy move from this coin when it breaks this downward sloping trend line. That is also the first target here to the upside. So, and I see here again that we are currently sitting at resistance. So easy to draw this, guys. I'm gonna explain it here, how you do that. You go to the left and look here, for example, support, 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 clear support, broke support, fake out, resistance, resistance, fake out. Here again, support, support, broke support, resistance. Now trying to break above that resistance level. If it breaks, if it stays above that, if the price can close above that level today, then let me have a look here. Yeah, we are slightly above that. Then the first next major target to the upside would be that downward sloping trend line. And there is a 38% move to the upside for that coin. So I would not even look at higher targets than that right now. That's more than enough. And look here how quick that coin moves here to the upside when we are above that, when we get above that line. So that is how many days? From the 7th of May to within 8 days. Within 8 days, really, really quickly. So I need to get the chat window back here again. Popping that out was not really smart, but it's okay. So now we are bouncing here on Bitcoin. Now I'm gonna check on my phone. I don't wanna go all the time back and forth. Okay, so that one is slightly in profit. So now I can actually, if I want to close that trade, come on, go a little bit up, because did not want to have that one. Just wanted to add to the other one at these levels. Yeah, so I closed that one. Now I go back here. So I should be able to just add to this one. I will do it now a little bit slower to see if this increases. Yeah, now it worked. Finally. That's all what I wanted. All what I wanted. I just wanted to increase the other position. So now it worked. So what's that? Okay, I don't know. So let me see. I'm gonna do quick. What is that? HBAR, because I did not have a look for a long time on HBAR. Let's see here. I need this chart for that, I think. HBAR. Did I charge something here? No. Yeah, I see across most of the coins the same thing happening. You know, we are running here in this major support resistance flip area everywhere. And either we get rejected or we pump straight above that, you know. So if we get here above these lines, then we go just higher, you know. So but here on the daily chart, looks like we are going back now in the short term. And what I would be looking at would be here, 21 cents roughly. That's what I would be looking at for HBAR to re-enter this and then trade the continuation into 29 cents to 32 cents roughly. Guys, I will be leaving now again. Bitcoin is pumping back to the upside, which is nice. Thank you so much for everybody that was here. 170 people live here, amazing. I will be back tomorrow. My camera turned off, crazy, but I'm still here on the screen. So yeah, everything is good. Thank you so much again. Tomorrow, my lunchtime roughly will be the next live stream, more or less in 14 hours-ish. So I'm going to see you then again. Until then, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I definitely see you with more money tomorrow.